Sounds of the Week on iRadio.
Tax payment is a responsibility. It is an obligation. It is not a choice, nor is it something that I can do today and postpone tomorrow. It is a responsibility of a company to pay taxes to the government. It's an obligation of all of us, be it those who are paying PIT, those who are paying business profit tax, or those who are paying imports duties. Governments runs on taxes collected from investors, from business community, and from staff that are working in different organizations. Either a staff of the UN, a staff of an oil company, a staff of a private company, or a staff working in South Sudan that you are earning revenues, you are obliged to pay tax. This message should be as clear as that. Let us learn to remit what belongs to the government, and you remain what belongs to you. That is the rule of the law. Even the Bible says that we give what belongs to Kaiser. Kaiser is who? The leadership, right? The government.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good afternoon. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The first deputy chairperson of SPLM has urged trust in the party to deliver peace, development, and transformation in the country. The South Sudan National Bureau of Standards has returned 2 trucks carrying imported sorghum infested with live insects and 3 trucks of maize flour contaminated with high levels of aflatoxin to their place of origin. And a collusion of civil society organizations is urging the National Parliament to prioritize the passage of the long-awaited National Land Policy as it prepares to reconvene next week. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Baria Johnson, and now the news in detail. The first deputy chairperson of SPLM has urged trust in the party to deliver peace, development, and transformation in the country. Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, who is also the vice president in charge of the economic cluster, has described the SPLM as the heart of the country. He directed the party secretariat to double its effort to restore people's faith in the SPLM. Bol called for faith in the party, citing its tremendous role in leading to the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement and the independence of South Sudan. He made the remarks during the official assumption of office alongside the SPLM second and third deputy chairpersons, Mary Apai and Simon Kon, in Juba yesterday.
My beloved comrades, I stand here in front of you today full of gratitude for the opportunity bestowed upon me by our comrades, Chairman and Commander-in-Chief, President Salva Kiir Mayardit. SPLM is the heart of our country, and today we make the path clear again as we restore the faith of our people in their party. How do we restore? By work. Secretariat. Work. We sacrifice everything to lead you to the CPA. SPLM will lead you to CPA, and finally to independence. This is SPLM. This was work done. We delivered. It's not a half. We delivered. We did it fully for you. Therefore, the path for SPLM is where they lie. Trust us to deliver peace, and we shall deliver. Trust us to deliver development, and wait for our nation to be transformed.
The SPLM has ruled South Sudan for nearly 20 years now. In 2005, the SPLM, through its former leader, pledged to rebuild the war-devastated South Sudan using existing wealth. The SPLM negotiated with the Sudanese government 6 protocols that formed the basis of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, or CPA. These protocols, among others, promise to change the system of governance and provide services across South Sudan, with the SPLM focusing mainly on improving lives in the southern region. It gave the government in the south the power to control oil revenue produced in its territories and seek further external funding for development. In his remarks to the world in Nairobi, Kenya on January 9, 2005, the late Dr. John Garang pledged that SPLM will use wealth in diversity as a source of national cohesion and strength. He stressed that the SPLM will implement social, political, and economic development strategies and programs that include using oil money to strengthen agriculture as the engine of growth. The ruling party also pledged to take towns to the people in the countryside through rural small town planning and rural electrification. However, 2 years after independence, South Sudan descended into a civil war. This was reportedly as a result of disagreement among members of the SPLM. The South Sudan National Bureau of Standards has returned 2 trucks carrying imported sorghum infested with live insects and 3 trucks of maize flour contaminated with high level of aflatoxin to their place of origin. In a post shared on their page on Facebook on Tuesday, the South Sudan National Bureau of Standards reiterated its call to all importers, partners, stakeholders, and the general public to adhere strictly to national quality and safety regulations. The office stated that their mandate is to ensure that only safe, high quality, and standard compliant products enter the South Sudanese market. The South Sudan National Bureau of Standards returned several trucks carrying substandard goods to their countries of origin between January and May 2025. According to officials, the goods were intercepted at the Nimule border point during routine inspections aimed at protecting consumers and ensuring product quality. The South Sudan Bureau of Standards expressed its strong commitment to preventing harmful or non-compliant products from entering South Sudan's markets by ensuring continuous inspections. A coalition of civil society organizations is urging the National Parliament to prioritize the passage of the long-awaited National Land Policy as it prepares to reconvene next week. In an open letter backed by over 50 national and international organizations and prominent individuals, the group called on lawmakers to take swift action and pass the policy. This policy was approved by the Council of Ministers on October 27, 2023, and tabled before the Transitional National Legislature in November 2024. The campaign, running under the hashtag Land for South Sudan, demands the urgent need for a clear and inclusive land policy to resolve ongoing land disputes, ensure land tenure security, and promote sustainable development across the country. The coalition warns that continued delays in passing the policy are undermining key provisions of the revitalized peace agreement, particularly chairperson of the South Sudan Land Alliance, read the statement earlier today.
In the open letter addressed to Right Honorable Speaker Jema Nunu Kumba and Honorable Ambrose Lomin, Chairperson of the Committee on Land and Physical Infrastructure, Sula outlines 3 urgent calls to action. Point number 1, accelerate deliberation and approve the National Land Policy without further delay. 2, commit financial and technical resources for implementation. Bullet point 3, ensure the policy upholds international standards for land rights with a focus on marginalized communities.
You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News. The Commissioner General of the South Sudan Revenue Authority has emphasized that paying taxes is not a matter of choice but a legal and civic responsibility. Speaking at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Technical Workshop on Immunities and Privileges in Juba on Tuesday, Commissioner General Simon Akwei urged citizens to promptly remit their income tax, stressing that tax obligations must not be delayed or taken lightly. He stated that every individual and business operating in South Sudan, whether paying personal income tax, business profit tax, or import duties, shares in this national duty.
In the open open letter addressed to Right Honorable Speaker Jema Nunu Kumba.
It is an obligation. It is not a choice, nor is it something that I can do today and postpone tomorrow. It is a responsibility of a company to pay taxes to the government. It's an obligation of all of us, be it those who are paying PIT, those who are paying business profit tax, or those who are paying imports duties. Government runs on taxes collected from investors, from business community, and from staff that are working in different organizations. Either a staff of the UN, a staff of an oil company, a staff of a private company, or a staff working in South Sudan that you are earning revenues, you are obliged to pay tax. This message should be as clear as that. Let us learn to remit what belongs to the government, and you remain what belongs to you. That is the rule of the law. Even the Bible says that we give what belongs to Kaiser. Kaiser is who? The leadership, right? The government.
According to Akwe, South Sudan's tax rates are among the lowest in the region, lower than those in Kenya or Uganda. And finally, Lake State, in collaboration with health partners, has launched a mass pneumonia vaccination campaign targeting 2,651 children under the age of 5 to protect them against the illness. The Director General of Health in Lake State, Maker Malok, who officiated the pneumonia vaccine, said the campaign will be conducted across 8 counties in Lake State as part of a nationwide effort.
Pneumococcal conjugate vaccine is a national immunization program that is supported by WHO and UNICEF to immunize children starting from 1 year up to 5 years. This vaccine is new and it is secured by the National Ministry of Health in collaboration with our partners, and it is now distributed to 10 states and 3 administrative areas.
He urged the community and government officials to raise awareness about the vaccine during the launch. Pneumonia remains a leading cause of mortality in South Sudan. Maker Malok revealed an alarming statistics from last year, saying that from January to December 2024, 5,108 children under 5 were diagnosed with pneumonia in various health facilities across Lake State. Of those, 83 died.
This vaccine is effective and is less. It will reduce in complication. It will reduce the hospitalization of children to be hospitalized several times in different health facilities. This disease is very important, and we need to treat it as it is planned by the National Ministry of Health in collaboration with our partners.
He urged parents and caregivers to bring their children aged 1 to 5 years to vaccination centers to prevent death. Dr. Jel, WHO representative, commended the collaborative effort and leadership demonstrated in the campaign.
I quite humbly and thankfully give thanks to all our leaders who are with us here today, and including the church leaders. We highly recognize your presence, and we are very grateful in this fight to be able to make all the South Sudanese living in the country and outside to live a very healthy life. WHO in all works with the Ministry of Health and partners, together with the extended partners of Ministry of Health and all the civil society organizations, to be able to work together to be able to extend and make immunization program strong, to be able to reach the vaccination coverage and protect the majority of children from these vaccine-preventable diseases. With these remarks, I kindly, on behalf of WHO, want to still give commitment to the Ministry of Health that WHO will always be standing alongside Ministry of Health to be able to reach and vaccinate and keep the population of South Sudan healthy.
Dr. Juma Santino Deng, the Director of Expanded Program on Immunization at Lake State Ministry of Health described the launch as a significant milestone for child health management and disease prevention. The campaign will cover all counties in Lake State as 390 vaccination team members organized in groups of 4 are being deployed to ensure full coverage. You're listening to iRadio News, and now for the regional and international news, we are joined by my colleague Lasuba Memo. Good afternoon, Lasuba.
Good afternoon, Baria Johnson. On the international stage, a top official in one of South Africa's biggest political parties has been sacked after he visited a controversial Malawian pastor in April. Floyd Shivambu has been removed as Secretary General of the Umkhonto Wesizwe Party barely 6 months into the job after he attended an Easter service at self-proclaimed pastor Shepherd Bushiri's church. Mr. Bushiri from Malawi was one of South Africa's best-known preachers when he was arrested and charged with fraud in South Africa in 2020. After being released on bail, he managed to flee to his home country in unclear circumstances. South Africa has been trying to extradite him ever since. The president of the International Committee of the Red Cross has told the BBC that Gaza has become worse than hell on earth. Mirjana Ispoljaric says Palestinians have been stripped of human dignity and international humanitarian law is being hollowed out. It comes as aid distribution centers in Gaza are closed today as Israel's military warns roads leading to their sites will be considered combat zones. Finally, the UK government says it is working at pace to implement its trade deal with the US after President Donald Trump doubled steel and aluminium tariffs to 50%. The UK is temporarily exempted from the tariff increase, but a levy remains at 25%. Here is a timeline of how we got there. However, British exporters could end up facing a higher rate if the UK-US deal would see steel and aluminium tariffs axed. That's all in the international stage.
Okay, thank you so much, Lasuba Memo. And now to the sports news with Emmanuel Joseph Akile.
Jammus FC Juba have officially completed the signing of Congolese midfielder Jose Manoma from TP Mazembe, one of the most prestigious football clubs in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The player penned a 2-season contract renewable during an official signing ceremony in Juba. The event was graced by the Secretary General of the South Sudan Football Association, Victor Lawrence Lowell, the president of Jammus FC, Muhammad Ahmad, and several members of the club's board of directors. Jose brings a wealth of experience to Jammus FC, having previously featured in high-level continental competitions with TP Mazembe. His signing is seen as a major boost for the club's midfield strength as they prepare for the upcoming season. Manchester City have agreed a €55 million deal with AC Milan for Netherlands midfielder Tijani Reinders. The 26-year-old will sign a 5-year contract at Etihad Stadium after agreeing personal terms with City. The deal, which is subject to a medical, includes additional payments if certain clauses are met. City hope to complete a deal for Tijani in time for the Club World Cup, which kicks off on 14th May. And finally, defending French Open champion Carlos Alcaraz produced a dominant display to beat 12th seed Tommy Paul and reach the semi-finals of Roland Garros in tennis. The second seed needed only 53 minutes to establish a 2-set lead, losing only 1 game in the process. American Paul offered plenty of resistance during a more competitive third set, but Alcaraz 22 broke again for a 5-4 lead and quickly wrapped up a 6-0, 6-1 and 6-4 victory. The Spaniard will face 23-year-old Lorenzo Musetti for a place in Sunday's final. That's all from the world of sports, and back to you, Baria Johnson.
Thank you, Akile. This is iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here are the headlines once again. The first deputy chairperson of the SPLM has urged trust in the party to deliver peace, development and transformation in the country. The South Sudan National Bureau of Standards has returned 2 trucks carrying imported sorghum infested with live insects and 3 trucks of maize flour contaminated with high levels of aflatoxin to their place of origin. And a coalition of civil society organizations is urging the National Parliament to prioritize the passage of the long-awaited National Land Policy as it prepares to reconvene next week. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. If there is a story or an event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30. I am Baria Johnson. Thanks for listening.